it's not just about the money. In our conversation today with Marc-William Attie, Master Licensee for Action Coach in France, he will share with us some key insights on how he has helped hundreds of business owners grow their business while at the same time acquiring better quality of life. So let's get to it. Marc-William Attie, welcome to my podcast.
Thank you, William. Thank you.
I'd like to start by asking you what you feel are the top 2 or 3 skills necessary that you feel will make someone successful in franchising.
Franchising is an interesting way of doing business. I think one of the qualities you need to be a learner. So you need to be willing to learn new things and to apply new things. I think also you need to be a team player, a real team player. Be leading a team and also just be a member of a team. And if I would take a third one, which is probably the most important, you need to be a developer. You need to be willing to build something which is bigger than what you could do by yourself.
Okay. And is that by being a developer or by being a team player? Franchising actually lets you're basically your own boss, right? You own your own business. But by being a team player, you mean?
Yeah, it's interesting what you're saying, William. Being in franchising is being your own leader, but not being alone. Being in franchising is having a team of people, a team of colleagues, a team of people that you are working with, a team of people that you are building something which is bigger and bigger with. So it's not being alone. It's being alone in the responsibility of your business, but it's not being alone. This is why I choose franchising, in fact, because building a business by yourself is something you can do, and everybody probably can do something by themselves. But it can never be as big as it will be when you are working in franchising. And when you are working in franchising, you're going to have people that you are going to collaborate, to be working with, to build something bigger. So no, I don't think you are alone when you are in franchising.
Now, you mentioned that this is why you chose franchising. Would you tell us a little bit of your transition from your past life to your life as a franchisee?
Yes, I can, of course. I've been working in the petroleum industry, but I was already in franchising because I was on the franchisor part. I was working for Chevron Texaco. We were building service stations and shops and even restaurants. And we were using franchising in order to build what we were doing. And when I have decided to work for my own, to be my own boss, I had the choice between developing my own business from scratch, buying a business, or starting to work in a, let's call it network, like franchising. And the choice of franchising has been done because it is the best way to be sure that you are working with the best in the world, that you are in an always new, developing, changing environment. It's very difficult when you are working for yourself to do a research and development, for example. You can do it when you are working in franchising. So I started to work in franchising for 20 years ago. I've been working with different franchises, and I started to work with Action Coach starting for 6 years ago, but really starting to lead the company. I am the master licensee for the country of France, and French-speaking Belgium and Switzerland. And when I started to work for that company, what was so interesting is that you are not only building your own business, but you are also helping other people building their business.
We'll get to that, because the other thing what you just mentioned is when you got into franchising and you basically understood what the basics and the structure of a franchise was. But what made you choose a franchise in business coaching, like a white collar franchise like Action Coach? Versus a pizza concept or something else that takes care of franchise.
Versus what kind of concept would you say?
No, what made you choose the white collar Action Coach?
Yeah. I understood the question, but compared to what, for example?
compared to a food service or a fast food concept, a pizza
Okay,
concept. Yes.
okay. Thank you. From my side, when you are in the transactional world, like when you are selling, when you have a restaurant, when you are selling clothes, when you are, I don't know, car repairs and all of that, you are doing transactions in reality. You are exchanging money to a service or to a product. With the business coaching industry, what you are doing is that you are building something which is bigger. You are receiving money, you are giving a service, and because of that service, you are building another business which become bigger and bigger and bigger. So you are creating value. This is what made me choose that type of industry, because it's not only a transaction, it is really building together, helping people, creating something, helping people becoming bigger, helping people to learn, to collaborate together. So it's really a very interesting type of business if you like to help others, of course.
Now, and you said that one of the things that you like about being a master licensee for Action Coach is that you're not only there to sell a product, to make a transaction, but you're there to help others make the transaction.
Absolutely, and make the transaction and creating more value for everybody. I mean, they are creating more value for themselves, of course. Our clients create more value for themselves. We are helping them creating a bigger business, a better life for themselves, but also for the people working with them, for their employees, for their family, for their supplier, for the clients. So we are really helping creating what I would call a better world, you know,
and
a better business world.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and
Sorry.
This is a common denominator between all of the master licensees that I've had the pleasure to meet and speak with, is that it's not only about business coaching them how to build more wealth in their business, but coaching them on how to build a better life.
Absolutely. Build a better life. I would like to add for themselves, but also for others, which is the most important. I mean, really, it's building a better. I call it a better world, a better business world with better comprehension, better understanding, people well trained, good focus, building a better team, having the right processes in order not to reinvent the wheel all the time, creating more value on the transactional base, creating the basis of the business. I mean, everything which will make the difference between a okay business to a wonderful business.
And give them more free time with their family and their loved ones, etc.
Absolutely. But have free time, have the pleasure to learn, to give back to the society, to give back, be involved in association, non-profit. I mean, have the time. I mean, time and money are very important.
Yeah,
They're very, very important.
And the people that spend all their lives chasing the money, they sometimes forget that time, how important time is actually.
Yeah, absolutely, William.
I'm interested in a franchise in France. What do you feel are the key questions I should be asking you or the franchisor before investing in this franchise?
I think so first of all, you need to understand what is the industry you are going to invest in. Is that industry something that you want to do? I like this type of industry. I like the fact of building value, creating wealth, creating free time for people, but not everybody likes it. It's not the easiest business in the world. So first you need to understand the industry that you are going to work. The best way to do it is to try the products, I think. To attend a seminar, a webinar, a training, a workshop, something which makes you feel what we are talking about. Second thing, which I think that I would do if I would start again from scratch, and I did, in fact, when I decided to invest in Action Coach, is to ask some of their customers, some of their clients, how they feel about it. With Action Coach, what I felt is that it's not only clients, it's part of is community members. It's people who are part of a community of people thinking the same way, acting the same way for the more or less the same benefits. So that is the second thing. Then you need to talk to the franchisees. You're going to have colleagues. You need to understand how they feel about the franchise. Are they exciting? Are they scared? Do they think that it has a great potential or not? So this is the third thing you have to do. For the industry, I think one of the other important thing is, are you in the growing industry or are you in a very stable industry? Business coaching and entrepreneurial development is a growing industry. It's two figures every year since many, many years back. So it is something which is growing. It is more and more important, and we need it more and more. We need a community. We need to feel the accountability. We need to be focused on the results. And we know that in order to do that, we are going to build our own education. So those are the type of things that I would do. Another thing that I would do if I would become a franchise in a very specific industry like ours, is to look at, is that company present in one country, 2 countries, 3 or 4 countries, 10 countries, 50 countries, more? Because when a company is able to develop themselves in more than 10 countries, that means that the concept is not only linked to a culture, geographical culture, it's linked to the type of customer you are working with. So on our side, for Action Coach, it's really linked to the business world, to the entrepreneurial spirit. Everything is built in order to make that bigger and bigger, better and better.
Yeah, and when you refer to this, to Action Coach as a business coaching franchise, you see how well they do everywhere, pretty much, where there's no culture barrier. You know, just the same we do as well in South Africa as you do in Japan, as you do in France and Germany, Mexico, Latin America. You know, so it's really not restricted to boundaries, no?
Absolutely. It works in the UK. It works in, as you said, in Japan, and it can work in Thailand, can work in many, many, many different countries.
Marc-William, if you were to start all over, I mean, you came in and you actually really have grown this franchise substantially. But if you were going to start all over, going back to when you got involved with Action Coach, is there anything different that you would do?
I think I would probably spend a little more time to go deeper in the knowledge of the industry. I think I spent some time in order to understand the concept, to learn. I mean, we have a very good trainings. I mean, initial training and ongoing trainings and so on. But spending more time on training, on understanding the system would even have been better. And ensuring that I'm not only transferring that knowledge to other people and using that knowledge to help other people build their businesses, but also ensure that I am using it on a day-to-day basis. I think that would be probably the only thing I would do differently.
Okay. And because I always heard about the community and building community. And I just, it's a word that gets thrown around, but it's really live and active with Action Coach, no?
It is. I mean, we use technology in order to ensure that we are all connected together. So we are connected through, of course, through WhatsApp, through Facebook, through other type of networks. But it's also the fact that we have regular and ongoing meetings, online meetings with people all over the world and talking about certain subjects. We are building together. We are part of when we are working on a new product, the community take part of that development of those new products, give their feedback. When we need something, we just send a message to the community and we have people coming back to us. I mean, we've been working on a technology subject for some weeks ago, and we just sent an email and had some feedbacks. And because of that, we found suppliers in different countries. I mean, yeah, it's a very, very strong community sharing the same. We have something in ActionCOACH called the 14 points of culture, which is the base of our way of thinking and doing things. And we are sharing that. A community needs to have something in common, and we have those 14 points of culture in common, and we have this big vision in common.
Well, the vision is to create world abundance through business re-education.
Absolutely. And to create really abundance is something which is important. We were talking earlier about sharing. We are creating, abundance, because this is the only way to share, is to create abundance. And business re-education, because most of the business owners, most of the business people, they have been trained as a pharmacist, as an accountant, as a builder, as a real estate agent. They have not been built as an entrepreneur. And this is something that, even if, of course, we start having in some business schools some entrepreneurial lessons, but it's really a big difference between what you learn when you are at university, at college, and what is going on the field is very, very different. The speed of doing things is completely different. So yeah, it is absolutely true and important. Yeah.
What have you found is the most difficult aspect of being in the business coaching business? What have you found that to be the biggest obstacle, they say?
It is interesting. I'm not sure that I would use the term obstacle, but of course, business coaching, it is an unknown industry. It's a way to create more wealth. It's a way to create a better life for entrepreneurs, but people don't go and don't search and don't try to find, and they don't say, oh, I need a business coach. I need a business coach. This is not the way it works, at least not in Europe, not in the French-speaking countries. So because we are in an unknown industry, sometimes you need to explain more about what you think would be necessary. But I think this is the only thing. And when you are talking to people, and when we don't talk about the industry itself, but the end goal, then it becomes clear, and it is not a big obstacle. It is a difficulty, but it's not a big obstacle.
Yeah, and maybe when you define it as business coaching, it makes it like a specific sector of business in general. But in life, we all have been coached or have coached at one moment or another, no? I mean, with your children, with your spouse?
Yeah, but probably the spirit of coaching is probably stronger in some countries than in others. I think in the English-speaking countries, it's more usual. We are talking about coaching around many, many different aspects of life. In the French-speaking market, it's a little bit more difficult. Coaching is still something fairly new as a paid industry. It's something which is fairly new. It started really maybe for 25 years ago, 30 years ago as an industry, really, coaching in general. So, life coaching and so on. So it's a little bit different, but it's not so important. Coaching is just a way to do something and to have a result. Coaching is just a way to ensure that somebody is creating his own plan, and that you ensure that he's gonna apply that plan into the end. So it's just a way to do something, to act and to build something. The way we do it is not so important. Most important is really the end result. And as you said earlier, the end result is a world of abundance through business re-education.
And that is the impact that you basically create with all your clients, no? It's
Absolutely. And what is interesting is not only us who are creating that results, is themselves. Because they are, as I said earlier, it's not only clients, they are part of our community. They are thinking like us. They are willing to create a better world. They are willing to have personal evolution, but also that their friends and family and people around them have that evolution. They are willing to share more with their employees. They are willing to create more value for everybody. So it's not only us. We are just the base of that journey, but really our clients, our community members, they are really part of that journey.
And when they buy into it, it really transcends through the rest of the organization, no?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because it really pretty much has to start at the top. And this is when you're running a small or mid-sized business.
Absolutely. It always does. Everything starts at the top. If the top person has a clear view and he has a plan and he does everything he has to do in order to make that plan a reality, then everybody's gonna follow. It is usually what is happening. We see very often clients coming with their employees, their right arm, the people they are working with to our workshops in order to share, and they are very proud of being part of that industry, of that. Let me call it movement. Be part of that movement, which is there to help create something bigger, something better.
That's a very, very good word. The movement. It's for someone you mentioned it's an English or second language. It's movement is a pretty clear description of what you actually do for people.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And movement means many. I mean, maybe the word doesn't mean exactly the same thing from one language to another, but in movement, you are moving. I mean, you are in emotion. It's a movement. It's also numerous people working together and moving to something which is better and stronger. So yeah, I think movement is the right word.
Wow, that's great insight, and I really, really appreciate you taking the time again. And I wish you success going forward in the business. And hopefully we will see you in person sometime soon.
Thank you very much, William. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Pleasure. Thanks for joining us today, and hope you have gained some valuable insights into the world of franchising. My name is William Lesante, and I would like to invite you to the next episode of the Franchise Coach podcast. Please make sure to like and subscribe and share with your network. Also, click the link below to learn more about franchising with Action Coach. Thank you.